Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about Hunter x Hunter, an iconic shonen anime series from 2011 which is still very popular among the masses. In this video, we'll be discussing the origins of Gon Freecss, the protagonist of the story. So without further ado, let's get started. The backstory of Gon Freecss. Gon Freecss is the 12-year-old protagonist of the anime series Hunter x Hunter. He's the son of Gon Freecss, who also happens to be one of the strongest pro hunters in the series. As for Gon's mother, it's mentioned in the manga that Ging and Gon's mother were separated with no mention of the time period, making her identity unknown throughout the anime. We get to know the origin of Gon later in the anime when we see Ging return to his home, Whale Island, with an infant Gon, 8 years after he had become a successful pro hunter. Ging leaves Gon in the care of his cousin Mito and embarks on a new journey never to be seen again by the islanders. Gon grew up on Whale Island and has lived with his aunt Mito ever since. When Gon asks Mito about the whereabouts of his parents, she tells them they passed away in an accident to spare him the negative details about them and ensure he has a normal childhood. Gon's motivation to become a hunter is to find his dad and ask him what exactly prompted him to leave a little Gon at the hands of his cousin. Due to his childhood being spent in the wilderness, he has heightened senses and better physical abilities than an average human being. He has a skinny build and he wears a green jacket with a white tank top underneath for most of the anime. Gon has brown eyes, black spiky hair, and a big smile on his face. He's a kind and humble being and often goes out of his way to help the others around him. The characters in the anime use Nen, a form of aura which enables them to attack others or protect themselves when facing danger. In order to be a hunter, one has to master Nen abilities or they'll risk their lives when facing stronger villains. Nen comes in various types, each one made for a certain category of people. Stronger Nen users always choose the Nen types that match their personalities as it gives them a big boost in their abilities. Gon's Nen type is Enhancer, which indicates he is a simple-minded and determined being. But Gon also has some weaknesses, which are his temper and his stubbornness. When Gon loses his mind, he doesn't seem to care about right and wrong and lets his emotions get the best of him. This weakness of his is brilliantly captured in the Chimera Ant Arc when he, along with Kite and Killua, face Neferpitou, one of the most powerful Chimera ants in the anime. In the fight, Pitou manages to sever Kite's arm, making Gon furious, who then tries to go after Pitou to attack her. However, Killua manages to knock Gon unconscious and flees from the scene with him. Later on, Gon admits that he would have died if Killua hadn't stopped him and that it was reckless of him to try and go after Pitou instead of saving his life. The marvelous story arc of Gon, Hunter Exam Arc. The Hunter Exam is an infamous exam held once a year that allows anyone to become a hunter if they manage to clear all 5 stages of the exam. There are a lot of perks that come with being an official hunter, hence the craze for the exam is unreal and people from all over come every year to participate. Just like the others, Gon too wishes to participate, but in order to do so, he has to catch the Master of the Swamp, a gigantic fish that dwells in the waters of Whale Island. If he manages to do so, he'll prove his worth to Aunt Mito, who in turn will allow him to participate in the exam. Gon manages to catch the fish after just a week of work and becomes the second person to catch it at a mere 12 years of age. He then bids farewell to Mito and gets on a boat to leave Whale Island and take the 287th Hunter exam, which is going to be held in Zaban City. On the boat, Gon meets 3 people, Killua, Leorio, and Kurapika, who go on to become very important characters in the show. Gon forms a deep bond with these strangers as they go through the Hunter exam phases as a team. At the start of the exam, other participants try to sabotage Gon and his friends, but their efforts fail miserably as Gon and his friends manage to clear all hurdles one by one until they reach the final stage. Gon passes the Hunter exam along with Kurapika, Leorio, and a few others to finally acquire his official Hunter license. However, he learns that Killua was manipulated by his brother Illumi into murdering another contestant and failed the exam as a result. Angered by this, Gon gets his address and heads for the Kukuro Mountains, home of the assassins. Zic Family Arc. In this arc, Gon, along with Leorio and Kurapika, go to rescue Killua as they know he was taken back to the Zic family mansion against his will. There they face the testing gates, which are so heavy that no ordinary person could move them to get inside the mansion. And anyone who does not go through the testing gate has to face Mike, their ferocious guard dog who shreds people to pieces. Gon and his friends then weight train under Zebro, the gatekeeper, for 2 weeks in order to gain enough strength to open the testing gates. They come across more such hurdles once inside the mansion, but they manage to rescue Killua at the end. As the arc ends, Leorio and Kurapika decide to go their separate paths to achieve their respective goals, and Gon and Killua depart for the Heavens Arena to get stronger. Heaven's Arena Arc. The arc starts with Killua explaining to Gon that he needs a lot more training in order to have a chance at defeating Hisoka, a heavy contender throughout the Hunter exam who attempted to murder other contenders including Kurapika and Leorio. So Killua suggests that they go to Heaven's Arena. There, they could hone their combat skills and also make a good amount of money by winning battles. The Heaven's Arena is one of the most popular battle sites in the anime, consisting of 251 floors and swarming with martial artists and a wide variety of skill sets. The rewards keep on increasing as victorious fighters ascend to the higher floors, but it also means they'll get tougher opponents as they climb. Gon and Killua, due to their extraordinary skills, are able to easily climb the first 200 floors of the Heaven's Arena. However, things change quickly when they reach the 200th floor. They face Hisoka there and find themselves unable to move forward due to his intense bloodlust. Hisoka warns them about the dangers of being on the 200th floor and that he will not allow them to move forward until they're ready. This is the instance when their new master, Wing, forcefully opens their aura nodes, teaching them Nen in the process, which is the ability to use aura in battles. Gon and Killua, after learning Nen, begin their training under Master Wing and manage to win 3 matches on the 200th floor. This prompts Hisoka to accept Gon's challenge for a fight and they begin their battle. Although Gon manages to land a few hits on Hisoka, he loses the battle with a score of 2-6. Gon acknowledges that he is still weaker than Hisoka and leaves the Heaven's Arena along with Killua to head for Whale Island. York New City Arc. In the York New City Arc, Gon and Killua reunite with Kurapika and Leorio, where they assist Kurapika in his mission to defeat the Phantom Troop. The Phantom Troop is a group of bandits with spider tattoos who are responsible for the annihilation of Kurapika's Kurta clan. They get a chance to attack the troop when it plans to hijack the York New City auction, an auction organized by the members of the underground mafia. Kurapika shows his conjuration-type Nen ability and succeeds in killing Uvogin, a very powerful member of the Phantom Troop, in a one-on-one battle. But this infuriates the Phantom Troop, and they capture Gon and Killua in return. Kurapika and the others come up with a brilliant plan to rescue Gon and Killua and capture Chrollo, the leader of the Phantom Troop. Kurapika puts a Nen ability on Chollo that renders him unable to use Nen for the rest of his life. Gon and Killua are rescued, and they set out for Greed Island to find Ging. Greed Island Arc. Gon and Killua approach Mr. Batera, who purchased the Greed Island game copies, and offer to play the game for him. He initially denies it, but advises they attend the tryouts for potential players. They work on their Nen abilities and manage to pass the tryouts, thereby entering the game in order to get more information about Gon's father. The main objective of players in the game is to collect 99 different specific cards, and anyone able to do that will be declared a winner and will be able to get out of the game. They would also be allowed to take 3 specified cards along with them into the real world. As Gon and Killua proceed on their quest to obtain all the cards, they meet Biscuit Kruger, who happens to be the teacher of their previous master Wing, and they train underneath her to get even stronger. The main antagonist of this arc is Genthru, also known as the Bomber. Gon manages to beat Genthru and his aides with the help of Killua and Biscuit and obtains all the 99 specified slot cards. He then wins the quiz to obtain the 100th card, Ruler's Invitation, and is invited to meet the ruler of Greed Island. Gon, Killua, and Biscuit are then allowed to choose 3 cards to take into the real world, and they choose Blue Planet, Paladin's Necklace, and Plot of Beach. Gon and Killua use the Accompany card they had disguised as Plot of Beach, which takes them to Kite in Kakin. Chimera Ant Arc. Gon and Killua meet up with Kite, who saved Gon from a fox bear mother when he was a child. Kite is one of Gon Freecss' students and a powerful pro hunter. Kite's team, along with Gon and Killua, go to the NGL to research a species called the Chimera Ant. The Chimera Ant Queen has a unique ability that allows her to eat different species and then give birth to Chimera Ants that possess the properties of the species she ate. Upon their arrival in the nation, they find out that the Queen has already began eating humans and has given birth to strong Chimera Ants with the ability to use Nen. The Queen then gives birth to Neferpitu, Shiapoof, and Menthuthu-Yupi, the 3 royal guards responsible for the safety of the king, who also happens to be the most powerful Chimera Ants aside from the king. As Gon, Kite, and Killua move forward on their quest to save the colony, Pitu takes them by surprise and severs Kite's arm. Gon and Killua run for their lives and manage to survive, but Kite fails to do so, as we later see Pitu with Kite's severed head on her lap. Gon blames himself for the death of Kite and makes it his objective to avenge Kite. The Chimera Ant Queen then gives birth to the king, Meruem, who is so strong that it takes the strongest man from the Hunter Association, Chairman Netero, to sacrifice himself in order to defeat him. Meanwhile, Gon gets furious at Pitu after the latter says he won't be able to heal Kite. In a fit of rage, Gon demands from his Nen all the power he will ever have in his future, which transforms him into an older version of himself. After After the transformation, Gon looks terrifying, with long hair and a muscular build. He is able to easily kill Pitou in this form by constantly hitting him with his Nen technique, Rock. Killua arrives at the scene and is terrified by his friend's state, failing to stop him. Due to the enormous surge of energy, Gon is left heavily injured and unconscious. Killua carries him and takes him to a hospital where he goes into a coma. On the other hand, Meruem, who is revived by Shiapoof and Menthu Thuyupi, isn't able to cure the poison that got inside him due to the explosion caused earlier by Netero, and ultimately succumbs to his injuries along with the remaining 2 royal guards, putting an end to the Chimera Ants. 13th Chairman Election Arc. As Chairman Netero sacrifices himself in the fight against Meruem, the seat of chairman of the Hunter Association is vacant and an election is held to determine the 13th chairman of the association. Leorio participates in the election in order to seek help for his injured friend Gon. Meanwhile, Killua goes back to his family's mansion to get his younger sister, Aluka Zoldyck, in order to save Gon, but Killua's brother Illumi chases Killua in order to stop him, as he thinks Killua's wish could potentially end the Zoldyck family because of how dangerous Aluka was. Killua manages to slip past his brother, reaches Gon in the hospital, and heals Gon using Aluka's healing abilities. Gon then meets Ging at the election hall and apologizes for not being able to save Kite. Ging comforts him and invites him to the top of the World Tree when he gets back from Kite's place. At the World Tree, Ging tells Gon all about the Dark Continent. Essential gear and tools of Gon. Gon has used a fishing rod as his primary tool ever since the beginning of the anime. It was actually revealed to be Ging's fishing rod in the 1999 version of Hunter x Hunter. It's a telescopic fishing rod that Gon uses with great precision and accuracy. The first instance when he used the rod was when he successfully captured the Master of the Swamps as instructed by Mito. Later, in the 4th phase of the Hunter exam, he used the fishing rod effectively to grab items far away from him and to strike his opponents from afar, showcasing its ability to be a makeshift weapon when needed. We don't see the rod in later arcs, so it's assumed that he left it back at Whale Island before starting his next journey. Gon's abilities and powers explained. Gon has always been praised for his powers of observation, agility, and stamina. Apart from that, he has certain abilities that make him unique, such as being able to sleep while a larger part of his brain is awake, and being able to hold his breath even when tired, thanks to the training sessions with Biscuit. Gon's potential and his speed with which he adapts to new techniques have managed to impress some of the mightiest characters in the story, such as Hisoka, Wing, Biscuit, and Razor. Gon's other abilities include enhanced hearing. Gon has a superior sense of hearing compared to others, allowing him to fight in pitch dark and determine the position of the enemy with just minor differences in pitch, a feat no other human is capable of. In the Greed Island arc, Gon is able to sense Latarza flying towards him and the others before anyone else. Similarly, he was able to sense Goretta's presence in the Hunter exam before his friends. Enhanced smell. Gon has a sense of smell so advanced that he is often compared to a dog. He was able to track Leorio from several miles away just by knowing the scent of his cologne. In the Hunter exam, he was able to track Ponzu just by the fact she used chemical weapons, even though he had never met her before. Enhanced vision. Gon's sense of vision is way better than an average human's. In the Hunter exam, he's able to easily tell the 2 Kiriko's genders just by observing them. He's also able to spot examinees from far away by standing on top of a tree, a feat even Kurapika thought was impossible. Enhanced strength. Gon always had enormous strength as he was able to carry the King of the Swamp on his own, which is something even 5 grown men couldn't pull together. Later in the anime, after training for just 20 days at the Zoldyck family's estate, he became capable of pushing open a gate weighing 4 tons, as well as shattering rocks with a single punch and sending opponents several times his size flying with just one of his hands. Healing factor. Gon has the ability to heal from his wounds extremely quickly. After Wing opened his aura nodes, he was able to make a full recovery from several broken ribs and bones in just 1 month instead of the predicted 4, all without using any Nen. Also, when Genthru blew off his hand on Greed Island, he was able to stop the bleeding immediately. Stealth expert. Gon was able to tail a highly skilled fighter, Hisoka, for an entire day without being detected, showcasing his stealth abilities. This ability of his is entirely natural and hasn't been achieved through any form of training, and it's thanks to his childhood, which was spent entirely in the wilderness. Other abilities. Gon also has impressive endurance, as he's able to withstand heavy injuries and stay in battle, as we saw in his fight with Genthru, where he was able to land his punches even after getting his hand blown off. Gon also has the ability to adapt to severe conditions and a bit of poison resistance as well. He's proficient in hand-to-hand combat, as he was able to spar with strong opponents like Genthru and Knuckle with just a few months of training. Gon is also able to form bonds with wild animals, a characteristic that's often attributed to good hunters. Ren Abilities. Of the 6 different types of Nen, Gon uses the enhancement type. He masters his Nen throughout the anime through intense training, first under his master Wing and then under Biscuit Kruger, who coincidentally was the master of Wing. His strongest Nen ability is his Jajonkin, or rock paper scissor technique. He's able to manifest 3 variations of Nen while using the Jajonkin technique. These 3 variations of his Jajonkin technique are Rock. Rock is the strongest of Gon's Jajonkin attacks as it uses the enhancement type of Nen, which he has a natural affinity for. To perform Rock, Gon focuses all his aura into his fist and charges it up. This does drop his guard as it takes a while to charge up, but if the strike is successful, it's lethal. He won most of his major fights in the anime using this technique. For instance, Gon was able to defeat the likes of Knuckles Bine, a Beast Hunter, and Genthru, the Bomber, using the Rock technique. He also managed to defeat Razor in the Beach Ball game on Greed Island using this technique. The strongest usage of this technique is shown when Gon is transformed into his older self and beats Neferpitou to a pulp in the Chimera Ant Art. Paper. Gon uses paper when he needs a long-range attack. With this attack, he uses the emission type of Nen to shoot an aura blast from his palm to target opponents far from it. Paper is weaker than the Rock technique because Gon is an enhancer and Paper uses the emission type Nen, which creates compatibility issues. We see this used against a lower-level Chimera Ant and also against Knuckle when he was competing against him. Scissors. Scissors is another part of Gon's Jajonkin technique and uses the transmutation type of Nen. It is performed by Gon transmuting the area from his pointer fingers to resemble a sharp blade. It's a mid-range attack that can cut through anything in its path. We see him use this technique when he slashes a lower-level Chimera Ant in half in the Chimera Ant Arc. Marvelous verdict! With that, today's video comes to an end. We hope you enjoyed it, but we'd love it if you shared your thoughts with us in the comments down below. Do you want to hear more about Gon or any other Hunter x Hunter characters? Let us know, and don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to our channel. It's a small click for you, but it means an awful lot to us. Until next time, this is Wizard Wheezy signing off, but you can always find me on Twitch. Thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and have a marvelous day.